a truth universally acknowledged that any woman alive in the year 2025 has been subjected to the charisma and charm of either Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal, and more specifically and more likely, seeing them both together with Dakota Johnson in press materials for the Materialists. Their particular appeal for this movie has been overwhelming, to say the least. It's taken the internet by storm. And possibly even better for the cinephiles watching, Celine Song is at the helm of Materialists. So this charming little trio, they have an even better writer-director behind them, making what is my current favorite film of 2025. People are always talking about what makes a great rom-com, and I think Materialist hits all of the classic essentials to become a timeless rom-com. First of all, it's beautiful. It has some of the best cinematography I've seen all year, and part of the charm that I think this film has going for it is that it was shot on 35mm film. Some of these frames, I swear to goodness, like, they're so beautiful. There's like two I'm thinking of right now that are just stunning. I literally could just talk about this film all day. I'm going to try not to. I'm trying to make this succinct. I think the blocking also of this film, which is something I never talk about in reviews, the actual, like, where the actors are standing and where they're passing through, specifically in the wedding scene. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. There is, like, this longer shot, and the blocking, the way that it happens, it just punches through. You feel it. And that's something I'll get into a little bit. But this film is one that, despite its witty dialogue and its beautiful visuals, it's such a beautiful film for how it makes you feel, and that's ultimately what a rom-com needs to be. Don't let all of this film nerdiness confuse you. This is hitting all of our classic needs for a rom-com. Okay, we've got Dakota Johnson in not one, but two amazing rom-com dresses. The other classic rom-com thing that this movie hits is Lucy, Dakota Johnson's character, has a great classic rom-com job. She is a matchmaker, and that kind of feeds in to how this film approaches romance, dating, and potentially kind of love. It brings up this concept of, and this language, it introduces this kind of world of discussing potential partners as people that have certain value attached to them. Whether it be how tall they are, whether or not they're balding, the money they make, all of that is factored into kind of a person's inherent worth in this dating system, which is partially because Lucy is a matchmaker, and when you're asking somebody what kind of guy they're looking to meet, they're going to give you a list of their non-negotiables and their standards and what boxes need to get checked. But all of that language that I'm kind of using here is weaved so delicately into the film and into the conversations the characters are having, to where when certain lines are set up and certain lines are said, who do you feel them? Because it's something that's mentioned at the beginning of the film and then doesn't come up until later in the film. Like, it could just be a throwaway line, but because this is so excellently written and so excellently crafted, you get to the end and you go, oh, now I understand why this was here. There's not a lot of things in this film that happen that don't have a through line later, or something that gets, like, kind of tied up in a really nice bow. And not just for the sake of convenience and for tying everything up in a nice bow, but genuinely because it all is purposeful. All the ingredients that are introduced at the beginning of the film are used by the end. There's nothing here that's wasteful, and I really love that. This kind of language the movie builds remind me a lot of Challengers, which is really funny because Celine Song's husband, Justin Kurtziex, I don't think I'm saying that right, but he wrote Challengers, and that movie also has this interesting language and integration of love and tennis, competition, money, ambition, and it ties all those things together in a very interesting way that would make a great conversation piece with this film. When you have this world and it kind of functions on, I need X amount of money to survive, and this person can provide that, and they fit my looks and height and niceness. And I think this film explores why just being on paper doesn't always work. It's not that it never does, and it's not that love can't come from that, but it explores love in a way that I have never seen a film do before. And if I'm being completely honest with you, it reduced me to absolute tears when a certain line was said in the film. Again, I'm not going to tell you what it is. This film is just the one that's the most aligned with the way that I view love and the purpose of it, and kind of what it does for you, and how there's not always a logical reasoning behind it. And yet that's just such a beautiful thing. I don't know. This is now getting so philosophical, and I did not mean for it to be that way. It's so great in all of its aspects that it allows you to be moved on such a heart, soul, whatever you want to call it, level that I just enjoyed so deeply. And so yes, like I loved Pedro in this film, don't get me wrong. I also loved Chris and Dakota. Everyone was truly perfect and everyone was performing so well and everything was great about it. But to me, this film cuts to the core of what it means to love someone, to find not just a suitable match or a person to do life with, but a grave partner, somebody who is more than just what they bring to your table or how you might seek a certain value or how the world might place a value on them, but what you feel and what that purpose of that person is in your life, when that's kind of extends beyond our kind of material, worldly understanding of things, that is what it means to love someone. And that's what this movie delivered to me and articulated for me in a way that I never could in such a beautiful fashion. And that is going to stick with me forever. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would really appreciate if you subscribed to the channel. I love this movie. Please go see it. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're going to watch this, and I'll see y'all in my very next video. Bye, guys. Also, Pedro, I love you. I love you so much, Pedro Pascal. I love you so much. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.